Congratulations on the promotion to defensive coordinator. I guess first off, can you kind of tell us about maybe how you learned how Coach Malzahn told you? Obviously, you've been a coordinator in the past, and I'm sure that was one of your long-term goals when you got here to get that opportunity. Whether it was going to be here or someplace else, you said you had other opportunities. So how was it as someone excited about the opportunity? How was it when you got the news officially that you were being promoted?
Well, first off, I appreciate on the congratulations, and I'm definitely blessed and honored to be here standing before you guys today. And when I first found out, it was just a slew of emotions. I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. We talked, and then we actually talked early in the week, and I talked about some of the other opportunities that I may have had. And then he's like, "Hey man, I can't lose you. You're my guy. Like, all right, coach, I'm hanging here with you." And just so happened it was an opportunity to open. Obviously, congratulations to T. Will. He got a great opportunity ahead of him, so definitely happy for him and his family. And it opened up the door for myself.
Addison, how is your defense going to be different than the previous 2 years under Travis Williams and UCF's defense?
Well, going into a bowl game, we got 9 days before we play a game, so there's not going to be any wholesale changes, but it's something that I have talked to the guys a lot about, that I'm going to be a stickler about over these next 9 days, is discipline and accountability. And it's not only us holding, as coaches holding them accountable, but them holding themselves accountable as well. And then from there, as we get into the spring, we'll be a lot similar to what we are now, but it's going to be some different things. I have some different beliefs and things that I've done in the past, and we'll get together with the other coaches that we bring in as well, and put a plan together and help put the guys in the best position possible to be successful.
You mentioned discipline and accountability. This could be part of the answer to the question I'm about to ask, but as a coach, is there like a certain slogan or mantra for you, or some sort of identity that people can relate to in your coaching style?
My coaching style, I'm more of that quiet, confident guy, but if I need to get loud and, get rowdy with the guys, I can do that as well. But the biggest thing is that I'm a confident guy, and I want my players to play confident. And so one thing I can tell you, because anybody can get up here and tell you, hey, we're going to be aggressive, we're going to fly around, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But my biggest thing is being sound in what we're doing, the guys being well coached, and like I said, being disciplined. And it's my job to situationally put the guys in the best position possible to be successful.
Coach, how important do you think it is the relationship you built with the players on this team over the years? You started off as a defensive back coach, got elevated into an assistant head coaching role. Now you're at the defensive coordinator. So every year you've had new responsibilities. How do you feel like that's going to help you benefit in this role right now?
It's definitely going to help benefit, because obviously being just a defensive back coach, I try my best to relate to all the guys on the team. It don't matter whether a quarterback, whether a kicker, whether a punter, long snapper, and that's something that I've prided myself on over the course of my career. And so just building those relationships throughout the building allows my job to be that much easier, because, and I said the other day when I told the team, after coach told the team, that from the reaction that they gave, I feel like they understand that I do have their best intentions and possible, you know what I'm saying?
I see some of your guys are kind of here throughout the room. So what was that like at the team practice, and the team after the practice and the meeting, to be part of it when coach kind of surprises everyone, puts your picture on the screen, all the guys cheer, like a goosebump moment, or what was that like?
Yes, it was. I really didn't have a response at first. The first thing I did just kind of grab my head. It's like, wow, this is a surreal moment, and obviously there's guys in the back now. Definitely appreciate them guys coming in here and support me right now as well. But man, it was an unbelievable feeling. The last couple of days have definitely been quite a bit going on. But as we get throughout this week, and especially as we get past Wednesday, we can kind of really hone in and focus on the task at hand, which is facing a pretty good Duke opponent.
Obviously, you've been here for a couple of years, but you worked under Malzahn and Auburn as an analyst and head coach. What was that role like, and what was your job?
Is Coach Malzahn still in the room? It was tough, you know what I'm saying? It was long hours, but it was definitely enlightening. And I know Coach alluded to it earlier. I was at an FCS school, Furman University, and I had just got promoted to defensive coordinator. And what happened there was I had been talking to Coach Malzahn, I had not told my head coach. And so we practiced in the morning. So after practice on a Friday, and I was actually getting married on that Saturday. So he told the team, and I was like, oh Lord, I called my wife as soon as we got to felt like I have to go talk to him. I had to go talk to him. So I went up to his office, and we kind of talked about it, and he was like, obviously, let me know on the front end, but I did not know how serious Coach Malzahn was about it initially. And so I talked to the coach about it, and then I talked to Coach Malzahn, and I'm like, well, Coach, I just got an opportunity to call plays at a quality FCS school, and they actually made the playoffs this year, so they're still doing a good job. But I got an opportunity to call plays, and you're like, listen, man, coming over here and learning the offensive side of the ball, being my right-hand man, I promise you, come here, you do a good job, it's going to set you up for future opportunities. And for all the recruits that will watch this, just understand he's a head coach that what he says is what he means, and I'm a living testament of that right now.
What did you learn as an offensive guy, even though you're kind of a defensive player and defensive coach?
The biggest thing for me was, and it wasn't necessarily the game day stuff, but it was more so the intricacies throughout the week and seeing how offensive guys prepare. Because it may be something that we're looking at as a defense and we say, oh, they're doing this because of that, but it's something that's totally different. You could be so far off on what the reason that they're actually doing it. So it's just sitting in the meeting room with them as those guys were game planning and understanding the whys and whys and whys they do this. I believe that was the biggest benefit that I had.
How much do you think that's going to help you as a defensive coordinator going through that experience? And they always said that there's a way that guys can coach on both sides of the ball. They're more well-rounded for it. So how much of a better defensive coordinator do you think you'll be because of going through that experience and kind of going through the ins and outs of Gus's offense?
I think it's going to be great for me moving forward, and the biggest thing is situational football. You know what I'm saying? Because base downs, a lot of people do a lot of the same stuff, but just understanding different situations and how teams are trying to attack you is going to be the biggest benefit that I'm going to take from that, and obviously moving forward as a defensive coordinator here.
Coach, what do you feel like you need to focus on this week? Just to kind of keep it simple, I know you'll be calling plays, I'm assuming, for the bowl game. What do you have to do just to kind of keep it simple for the guys so they can just go out, play fast, and play with a lot of excitement?
The biggest thing, we're going to do things that they can do, and like I said, I'm a guy that want my defense to be sound. I want them to be, they're going to be well coached by myself and obviously the guys that are on staff, and we're going to be disciplined. And again, the first thing I got to talk to the guys about after I, appreciate them for their response that, they gave me, and the welcome that they gave me we talked about was accountability and discipline. And that's the two things that we're going to harp on throughout the next few days before we get ready to play Duke.
You got a really good offense you're going up against with Duke. What stands out? What are the challenges you're going to be facing against the Blue Devils?
Well, obviously they're a really good football team. Won 8 games, and the 4 games that they lost were all within a 7-point game, 1-possession game. So that tells you a lot about those guys right there. And I told the defense earlier, I believe it was 6 of their 8 wins, it may be more than that they scored 30 points or more. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us.
Have you decided, future responsibility, you're still going to coach corners? Is that still probably what you're going to do going forward next season, or is this kind of up in the air about individual positions amongst defensive coaches?
Well, I've always told myself once I get this opportunity, because a lot of guys, when they get a coordinator spot, they kind of want to walk around and oversee, which I think has benefited that too. But I've always told myself that I would never get outside the meeting room. That's my comfort zone. That's what I love, and I'm going to continue to coach defensive backs.
In linebackers, who's helping you out for the bowl game? You got one of the GAs or analysts or anyone kind of assisting in that role?
So what we did, Coach Gibbs is a veteran guy. He's been a defensive coordinator at multiple spots. He's coaching the NFL, so he has great experience, obviously in the secondary, but he understands everything that's going on the defense. And so he's been moved down to linebackers. Charles Moore has been elevated. He's helping Coach Gibbs with the linebackers. And then you have Jeremiah Denson, who's a former player at all, a really good player for them. He's helping me in the secondary.
Coach, can you talk about how attractive this opportunity was? I know you're already here at UCF, but even if you were an outside candidate, how excited are you to be at a program like this, transitioning into the Big 12 with a lot of athletes, both experienced and young? Just talk about just the position itself. How excited are you to be in this role as the defensive coordinator at UCF?
It's very exciting. First off, just being in Orlando as itself, this is obviously a destination place that people from around the world come and visit every year. And just having the opportunity to live in a place like this, coach the guys that we are coaching is just an unbelievable opportunity, man. We got really, really good guys, and a lot of times you think, hey, going to Florida, it may be this, you may deal with this problem, that problem. That's not true. That's definitely a myth. We got awesome guys here, and definitely excited to have my impact grow on this team. As being a defensive coordinator, one thing to coach the defensive backs and have an impact on them and have a little impact on other guys. But being a defensive coordinator, my influence and my way of doing things, I think can pass over to a lot more people, and I think it'll be beneficial for everybody involved.
How good has the recruiting element been? I know you have a relationship with a lot of the guys that are going to sign on Wednesday, but how's that been over the last 24 hours? Calling some of those guys up, letting them know the plan, and heading into Wednesday.
Well, it's been a lot going on over the last 24 hours for sure. Obviously, got a game in 9 days, so trying to make sure we spend enough time on that, but then also getting on the phone with every defensive recruit that we are recruiting, all our commits, and that's something that we have done and will continue to do up until signing day. Then obviously you have some other guys, the portal guys, that we'll continue to stay in contact with them. Some guys are making decisions today. Some guys won't be making decisions till within the coming weeks. So just continue to stay in touch with all those guys.
One more question.
Do you feel like the relationship you built on the recruiting trail with these guys will help you keep this 23 class together, even though despite of the coaching changes?
Absolutely, I do feel like it will, and I have a relationship with a lot of those guys. Obviously, some deeper than others, being the defensive backs, but guys at the other positions, I'm definitely over the next few days going to try to do everything I can to keep those guys aboard. Obviously, we targeted those guys for a reason, and we're going to continue to recruit the crap out of them and try to get them here.
Appreciate it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.